Welcome back to the homestead, everyone. Welcome back to our garden. Today we're going to be talking about something very important in our springtime planting season, and that is companion planting, and specifically which vegetables you should not plant next to one another, and also some that work well together. Let's get going. It's really important to adhere to the rules of companion planting and understand what can be planted next to one another and what cannot. And the reason is certain vegetables or plants take the same nutrients from the soil, and some are just stronger in their uptake of those nutrients. What that means is if you plant certain vegetables next to one another, one vegetable will take up the nutrients in the soil at a faster pace and not leave any for the other one, and the other one will suffer because of it. Hey, if it's your first time here, awesome. Head below, hit that subscribe button. Why? Because we have a lot of great gardening information for you here, as well as overall general homesteading information. We know it's going to be helpful for you. Let's get back to our companion planting. We're sitting here next to our spring peas, our English style peas, and they're doing really well. They're about 4 inches tall. There are several things you do not want to plant next to peas. A lot of things do really well. We have them next to our strawberries, but anything in the allium family you don't want to put next to peas and also beans, and that includes onions and garlic. And conversely, as you can see, we're sitting in front of our garlic and our onions. You do not want to plant peas or beans next to these. However, we can plant certain things next to our onions or allium family, our garlic and our onions, and that includes tomatoes and eggplant and peppers, anything kind of from the nightshade family. They do well next to onions and garlic. This year, on the north side of me right here, we're going to be planting our peppers next to our garlic, and right here next to our onions, we're going to be planting eggplant. Here we are in front of our carrots. Now, carrots are another vegetable that does not like anything from the allium family, any garlic or onions, but carrots also do not like celery and dill, so make sure you do not plant those next to one another. Carrots do well next to things like tomatoes and anything else from the nightshade family. So there are a lot of things that you can plant next to them. Another thing that works well next to carrots are brassicas. Now we've got some collard greens planted here and they're just starting to come up. Those are right next to our spring carrots. Here we are in front of our asparagus patch. The asparagus has not started to sprout for spring, but we have pruned it back to give it the opportunity to come up. If you want to know how to prune asparagus and how asparagus grows, then go watch our video right here. Now, asparagus is yet another thing that you cannot plant onions or garlic next to. Things just do not like onions or garlic, even though they're really good for your body. Sometimes they do repel people as well. Now let's talk about something that I don't yet have here in the garden, though we've started them in the house, and that is peppers. Peppers actually do not do well next to beans, and they also don't do well next to anything from the Brassica family, like a cauliflower or broccoli. So make sure you keep those apart from one another. Something else we don't have growing in the garden yet, because it isn't time, are cucumbers. Now, we trellis our cucumbers, and that's what this is here for. If you're interested in trellising cucumbers and finding out how to do that, go check out this video up here. But something to not plant next to cucumbers are any herbs. They don't do well next to those. Cucumbers also do not do well next to potatoes. We're down here next to our strawberry patch, and we're waiting for some more strawberries to come in the mail from Territorial Seed. But these are an everbearing strawberry. They come back every year. Something you don't want to plant next to strawberries are anything from the Brassica family either. No cauliflowers, no broccolis, no Brussels sprouts, or anything like that. They don't do well next to one another. But right next to me, next to the strawberries, are some spring English peas. Those two do well next to one another. We're back here in front of our onions, and this is where we're going to be planting our eggplant, I think. It was eggplant or peppers. I got them in two different spots here. Eggplant or peppers, doesn't matter. Eggplant or peppers next to the garlic or the onions. But anyway, we're talking about eggplant right now. Eggplant, you don't want to plant any fennel next to eggplant. They just don't do well next to one another at all. Well, last but not least, for our garden anyway, is corn. Now, you do not want to plant tomatoes next to your corn, but you can plant what's called the three sisters, and that's corn, beans, and squash. All those do really well together. It's an old Native American technique, and they thrive next to one another. Now, there are a lot of other vegetables you can plant in your garden and a lot of other companion plants that work well with them and that don't work well with them. But it's impossible for us to cover everything. We covered what we're going to plant in our garden this year. Now, there's some really great charts out there, and we will leave those linked in the description below. If you're interested in more videos to help you in your gardening and on your homestead, go check out this one right here. It'll help you out a lot. Thanks for being here.